Deserving their call-up, do you think, Jason?
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with what Scott said. I'm a big fan of his, and I think sometimes we get carried away looking at strikers of what they do when they've got the ball. Sometimes you need to look at what they do when they haven't got the ball, when it's more of a defensive unit, and he's not one to shirk that responsibility, because I don't think you can in this team. I think every player has got a job with the ball and without it, and I think he puts the hard yards in. You know, he's not frightened to get him back, he's not frightened to start the press, he's not frightened to drop into midfield and help out, which is a quality I like in a striker. Gone are the days, well, I say gone are the days, Haaland now, he hardly touches the ball, just scores goals, doesn't he? Yeah, and he doesn't really defend that much either. But
the number 9's coming back into
yeah, they're coming back into fashion, yeah. But I do like him, I think he's a really good player. And I'm slightly surprised that, you know, his numbers were good last season, that no one has sort of had a bit of a gamble on him. I don't know why.
Gareth Southgate didn't have a gamble on him, because I think he's the first Brentford player to be called up for England since
I don't think it's a gamble.
War.
I think it's. I think to add him into this squad, I think is good experience. You can have a look at him at close hand, which is always good.
I think what you need is a group of players. If looking ahead to England and the World Cup, Gareth Southgate will go with his tried and trusted, but you also need someone who's in form, and that person who can just burst onto the scene that opposition defenders won't know about. And as I say, penalties, he's not bad at that either.
Darren Bent. Remember that? When he missed out on the call-up, didn't he? Was it Darren Bent?
Sven,
and he was like scoring ridiculous goals at the time, wasn't it? And
he was the highest English scorerman in the Premier League.
And
he's still bitter about that now.
I thought he was over it, to be honest.
No, he wasn't.
Is he not? He isn't.
So does it bring something different to England then, Jamie? Or do you think he can actually play alongside Harry Kane in the two?
Well, I think just sort of using a little bit of what both the lads have said here. I mean, you've got a player in form who adds a little bit different. I think he's the second highest aerial duels winner in the Premier League at the moment. Former high jumper, so you'd expect him to do that. For Gareth Southgate to use him in these Nation League games is perfect. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. If it does work, then he has options. I think that's why Ivan's in there. This isn't a guaranteed World Cup place at any stretch. And with regards to why he didn't go anywhere else, he's not the quickest. And I interviewed him last year before they got promoted.
Do you think that's the reason as to why Gareth Southgate waited this long to get him as well?
There's a flaw in it. But Harry Kane's not quick. But Harry Kane's nearly scored 200 Premier League goals, so he's basically putting himself in the starting lineup. There's an opportunity here for Ivan to show that Gareth has an option. But that's all I could suggest.
How do you know he's a high jumper? I'm impressed with that.
I interviewed him.
Of all the stats that you come out with over the last 2 days,
185 is not. He wasn't ever going to beat any world records. But
are we talking like school here, or is it like?
He was a high jumper.
So you interviewed him, right?
I interviewed him, yeah. But then, like Scotty said, the thing is, he is very humble, but he also knows what he's good and not good at. And he said, "I'm not the quickest." So he already knows it. So he knows what he's capable of doing. So I think that adds to his quality.
So he's an intelligent footballer as well, then, because he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, and yet we're still talking about him as being one of the best, at this moment in time on current form, one of the top strikers in the Premier League. So that football intelligence as well, which again Harry Kane has, can only add in, and he's going to get better and better.
So if the World Cup squad is announced tomorrow,
He's in.
I'd put him in.
You put him in?
Michelle, the free kick was, I mean, the penalty's fine. That's 12 yards via the goalie. That free kick was sensational and effortless. And when you've got that kind of ability,
Well, I mean, Calvert-Lewin's missing, isn't he?
Yeah,
injured. You know, you wouldn't take him right now, obviously.
No.
So if you had to pick a squad for
Callum Wilson's
tomorrow,
injured a lot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tammy Abraham would be the one for me, but then
playing a different league. Standards maybe a little bit different.
Yeah, but I think he's gone out to Italy and he's playing and he's done well. He's scored goals. But I think you've got someone here, and I liken it back to, showing my age here, sort of Toto Scalacci in the Italia 90, where he didn't start in. I'm not quite sure if he just came from nowhere beforehand, but he was nowhere near the starting 11. And yet by the end of it, he was one of the main men in the World Cup. And when you've got someone who just come in, just fresh and just ready to, you know, totally motivated and show what he can do, he could be that player. And penalties are important, obviously, as we know for England in the World Cup.
I didn't play in any qualifiers for Ireland in '94. I literally played in 2 warm-up games. We beat Germany and Hanover. And next thing I was in the squad and I played in all the games.
I'm going to start using him instead of Scalacci now as an example.
I was a bit disappointed you didn't use me as the example.
Okay, so both of them will take Ivan Toney to the World Cup if the squad is announced tomorrow. Would you put Ivan Toney in the World Cup squad?
I don't think you can overlook him. Right, if you had to pick a squad for tomorrow,
for
I'm not saying I'd start him.
If
If the squad was to be announced tomorrow for the World Cup, I would, he'd be in it. But there's a long time before the World Cup, so he needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah.